Hello everyone. Today I'll be going through our brawler design and stats of Otto. Um, we designed this brawler as an idea off of Clash of Clans actually. Um, they came up with a few years back the builder base, and there's a master builder who does all your buildings and he fights, and he has a little bot. That is Otto. I'm pretty sure he built this little bot, and that's his little friend. Anyways, here's our design for Otto. So this is our first builder class brawler, which is a new class we designed that are kind of like Chuck and brawlers that place things down and edit the environment. So you could say Sprout could be kind of like a builder. So yeah, he's a super rare builder. His title is Built to Destroy. He has 7.2k health, which we thought was fairly balanced. Less than Lily as an assassin, but more than Crow. So he has fast movement speed to help him get around and run around his buildings that he places, which is his super. I'll get into that a bit later. So his traits is his main attack's lightning bolt will stun and cancel any enemy action. So this would work on a Janet. It wouldn't work on a gadgeted Lily, for example, because that goes into a different dimension. It can't stun through dimensions, but it can stun any other action. So someone doing super or someone using a gadget, it'll just stun them, stop them moving, no matter who they are, even if it's Kit supering or Janet in the air. So the hypercharge will only charge after having built 3 super variants. So we have 3 different super variants, and you need to build one of each, and then the hypercharge will unlock. So once you build one of one, you'll get a third hypercharge. If you build 2 of the same one, you'll stay at a third, or 3 of the same one, you'll stay at a third hypercharged. Once you've got 2 different ones on the map, you'll get 2/3 hypercharged, and once you have one of each super, you'll get your hypercharge. There can also only be 3 supers on the map at one time. So yeah. His main attack is called Infrared Bolt. He lays down a line starting from where you aim, which always aims within himself. So he'll lay down a signal line to wherever you move will be the line, and eventually that signal line will light up after 1.5 seconds. So if you're running really fast or you go on a jump pad, you could have a long signal line that will light up in 0.5 seconds. And then a bolt of lightning will strike where you started placing that signal line after 2 seconds. After pressing the attack. And the bolt will stun enemies for 0.3 seconds. So quickly stun, then slows them for an additional 0.6 seconds. The burn damage, if they get caught in the infrared line, is 24 hit points per quarter tile, so per quarter wall piece, for example. So if they're running away on the signal line while it's flaring up, they'll take more damage, and they'll also burn once getting touched by that flamed up signal line by 240 twice over the next 2 seconds. So the lightning bolt is 2.2k damage, which is just a little over one of Lily's hits. Attack duration is 2.9 seconds, so the slow will end after the last 0.6 seconds. The range is short within the hitbox of where you shoot. Reload is medium, so he can place a few signal lines at a time that can all flare up lightning bolts at where he places them. and he can also chuck, say, his third variant of super, which is block, in between his lightning bolt strike and where he is at the end when it flares up, and block enemies from coming towards you. Or you could build blocks all around them, and trap them and then strike them, basically, as one strategy. So the super can be thrown next to him, one tile away, from 1 tile to 3 tiles, and that's where the bushes, after getting 3 shots, will be placed. If you get 4 shots on an enemy, so this shot counts as 2.2k damage, 1 lightning strike. The signal line flare will also count towards building up super. But yeah, 3 shots of damage will charge the bush super, 4 shots of damage will charge the water super. So as soon as you get to 4 shots of damage, it'll switch, and then 5 shots will charge the wall super. Walls just seem to be the most valuable thing to place. Water secondly, you still can't go through water, and then bush can be destroyed pretty easy. It's the one you get for 3 shots. And then we have a knockback damage of 200 when an enemy is inside the water and they can't water walk, or in the wall and they can't wall morph, or wall shadow, or go through walls. And then super is 2x2 blocks built structure that will replace any bush or wall blocks or water that's there already. And once you destroy it, it'll just be an empty field again. So you can slowly, say, destroy water by putting walls all over the water on the map, or destroy all the walls and turn them into bushes. If you have brawlers that can't jump, like Miko or something, and there's a Miko after you, you turn those walls into grass pretty cheap, or bushes pretty cheap. And then so as I said before, a maximum of 3 can be built on the map at one time, 3 supers. The hypercharge is different. Infinite amount of hypercharge can be built. They'll never disappear no matter how many supers are on the map. But yeah, so if you get 3 hypercharges, for example, you could have up to 6 buildings on the map, 6 2x2 built structures. And then gadget 1 is TNT, like in the intro to the game. The first tutorial that you go into in the game uses TNT. We thought it would be really interesting to implement that in the first builder. So he can throw 3 in the match and it sticks to wherever it lands, and you can light it up by any of his attacks, by shooting it, getting it in the signal line, or the bolts hitting it will light it up. So you could blow up walls with this, you could blow up brawlers, you could do anything with that sort of map control, and then heal pad is his second gadget. So we thought this was an interesting one. I think heal pads heal for 500 each second. This is really handy on, say, like knockout. Sometimes you can kind of camp back on a heal pad, especially if you're 1v3ing, stuff like that. You could place heal pads in strategic little areas within fortresses you've built. If you choose to just build wall structures, for example, you could put little heal pads in there, and say if you have a diner as your teammate, he could use those heal pads to just have more game control. So star powers are also buffed by this hypercharge, but I'll tell you about these star powers. The buzzer is star power 1. Electronic pulses emit from Otto's antenna, so no matter where you are, which stun enemies in a small area around himself for 0.6 seconds, so it's an anti-assassin star power. When he's attacked, lightning bolt slow happens. So if you want this effect of buzzer to slow, you'll have to wait 2.3 seconds for it to start after your main attack. But this star power works for every single main attack he does. And then his stellar vision is when his bolt hits an enemy during the attack, he can see the outlines of all brawlers for the next 3 seconds. So all invisible brawlers, or any brawler, no matter where they are, except in the Shadow Realm, he can visibly see the outline. So you could kind of figure out which brawler they may have, depending on trickery with skins and everything. But if you know the game well enough, you can see which sort of brawlers are hiding in bushes, for example, near yourself for the next 3 seconds. That's when your bolt hits in your main attack. Now, for the hypercharge, we called it Colonial Carnage, and the super will now stay, as I said before, indefinitely, unless it's destroyed. It'll always be a wall super, it won't be a bush or water. And if using Star Power 1, while hypercharged, the whole time he's hypercharged, he will emit electrical pulses in a storm around him that slow enemies within the storm's radius. And if using Star Power 2, Otto will obtain stellar vision for the duration of the hypercharge, so he'll be able to see all brawlers for 6 seconds. He doesn't get much extra speed. His damage goes up halfway of normal damage buffs, and he gets a lot of shield because he hasn't got much protecting himself other than his star power and his super. He doesn't have much protecting himself from, say, most assassins, but yeah, we think this brawler is made fairly balanced, but we'd love to hear what you guys think, and if there should be any balance changes made, or if you have skin ideas for him, let us know what you, the community, would like to see in the game in the future. So yeah, thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day or night. See ya.